Good morning, everybody. What's up? What's up? It's your boy Jonah TV for Life. I just want to do a quick video, talk about these issues about Martin Luther King. It's yesterday's birthday. I'm not really celebrate like talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I heard a story during radio TV reactions about Martin Luther King and sold us out or something. You know what I mean? I don't remember the story he be saying. I can't remember that much. It's been years and years and years. I think it's like between 2016 or maybe like 2015, 2016, when I was living in California. Me and my old lady, and he said something about Martin Luther King be lying on us the whole time about, I don't know, you know what I mean? But anyway, me and my partner, and we catching the bus, and we thought about we have a free food at the park on Martin Luther King Street, east side in San Antonio. And me and my cousin-in-law, and my cousin-in-law say, yeah, they probably had a free meal for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I think they're probably gonna give y'all a wristband to put on the arm, and they got something going on over there. And I said, yeah, I'm sorry I can bring something back. So yeah, just go ahead and see. So me and my homeboy, we went there, went on a bus, and we hopping on a bus, and it's too many people. You know what I mean? Too many people. A lot of people, they be marching, put a sign, and like they protesting. They're not really marching like talking about, you know what I'm saying? And, people celebrate. Some people ain't, so out here in San Antonio, and I gotta be honest, man, out here is pretty prejudice out here, reason why I'm saying that it's pretty prejudice out here. That just the few people just don't like black people. They don't like some people. They don't want to see nobody grow. They don't want to see nobody win. They just put you down. Every time you're trying to get something, they just hold you back. You know what I'm saying? They just hold you back. You know what I'm saying? They just, talking negative about you, and, you know what I'm saying, just looking down on you. You know what I mean? People just being prejudiced, being racist. You know what I mean? Like, the way I look at things is just people are fake. You know what I'm saying? People are fake. People are not real. And every time we holler at sisters, they just being stuck out. Look at us like we broke. You know what I mean? But I already got a woman already, but, it is what it is. So anyway, we went down into the park, see a lot of people, see the police. We went there. I said, come on, Fred, let's see, we have a free food going on. And I thought we had something for all of us, but I went there, got me a free cup. I said, okay, we got a free cup, and let's find something to eat. I ain't nothing this morning. He ain't ate nothing this morning either. So I went there, and I look at the sign. It said pure coal, and there's your ID. I said, what the hell? What is going on? And I don't see nobody pay for the food. All you can do, you can pay on the phone, or cash out, and all this and that. I said, wait a minute, I thought it's going to be free for all of us. I thought it was going to be free food. I thought the food is for everybody. to have a good time at Martin Luther King's. And friends say, I don't think it's free. You gotta pay everywhere you go. You gotta pay for the food. And you know what I'm saying? You got, and I said, wow. So I looked at that sign and said, you gotta pay at least like $20. You gotta scan on your phone, no cash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, damn. It's like damn, like they don't want nobody pay money with cash or to buy food. You gotta pay with your phone and with your arms and your hands like this. I said, what the? I said, nah, something ain't look right. Like, people want to take the mark of the beast. Like, to me, it's like, damn, I come down there and I seen people eating and people just be paying on the phone. You got to scan it like, get food. Like, I say, it's in the freezer. Nah, you got to pay. So you got to pay. You're hungry, you got to pay for it. People did not offer nobody anything. So they don't really care about homeless people, man. The Bible says about the mark of the beast, saying, rich or poor, if you're hungry, every day you're gonna take the mark of the beast, rich or poor, and you're not gonna do anything until you take the mark of the beast. So I see a lot of people paying for with a phone, no cash. And I said, wow, it just makes me mad. It really makes me mad. I see this. A lot of people are not complaining. People just join themselves and celebrate Martin Luther King. People are celebrating. People play gospel music on the stage, way out there to hear the gospel songs. And I see some majority of people are not happy because I see three ladies walking around, black ladies walking around. They not happy. In their mind, I thought they're gonna get a plate for food for free, but no, you gotta pay to get a plate. That's nasty work. You gotta pay with a cash out, not cash out card. You have a cash out on the phone. Like you gotta pay. Everybody had this one. So it sounds to me like it's like a digital ID. You gotta pay on the phone, on your hands or something though. You know what I'm saying? And I said, damn, man, that's crazy, bro. I said, come on, Fred, let's get out of here, man. This shit is pissing me off. And he say, well, John, son, it ain't look right, man. And don't feed nobody for free. They don't care about homeless people. They don't care about you starving. They don't care about anything. You know, you gotta pay it up to buy food, to buy clothing, everything. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy work. And a lot of white folks, a lot of Mexicans, did not complain. They just accepted people paying with a phone, with a credit code and all that stuff though. And I said, nah, man, I gotta get the hell out of here, man. That ain't right, man. And you gotta pay to get on a bus. I say, this is Martin Luther King's birthday, man. So you gotta pay everywhere you go. That ain't right. So that ain't right, man. It ain't right for me, bro. And me and my homie, we just talk about this, man. I said, look, remember we went to New Orleans for 4th of July, and he had a free bus to take us to over there by the church called a Victory Gospel, whatever the name is, a Victory Fellowship, and I see people get in line with some free haircut, free food, free drink, and free everything. You know what I'm saying? But how? You know what I mean? I don't want to jump into the conclusions or anything like, damn, but they give people free food. But don't get me wrong. Some people, they be selling stuff for 4th of July. I see people be selling liquors and all this and that. They pay with cash, but I don't see nobody pay with ear code, like pay on the phone and all this and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Saying that Martin Luther King in New Orleans, I know they're marching. I know they have a parade going on. And they got some people be selling stuff like cold drinks and water They pay with cash, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But they got free food, start feeding homeless. They feed for homeless all over in New Orleans. But out here in Texas, man, San Antonio, man, they're not even doing that. They're not even doing that. But yes, they got some possible. Yes, they feed homeless people every day in San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they had called a CAMS. You hear me? CAMS. It's like a shelter. You know, people get sack lunch. People get free clothes. They really help you to find a place to lay your head. The shelters, and all of that pool ground. They got pool grounds and CAMS. The place you can eat for free. But the Martin Luther King's Day, yesterday, is closed. You know what I mean? I said, damn, well, how people gonna survive? How homeless people gonna survive? How homeless people gonna join themselves? You know what I mean? A lot of people, they're not happy. They're not happy because the people, man, the rich people, they don't care about us. You know, I'm not homeless. I already got a place already. You hear me? I already got a place already. I already got food. I already got the food already. But I went out there. You know what I mean? I said, damn, I guess we feel dumb because I should have been you went out there to the park. You got to pay everywhere you go. You want something, you got to pay for it. I said, damn, I could have been something, but I don't even know you gotta pay what you scan on your phone. Like you gotta pay, like, you know, say like you have a phone, right? You gotta cash out or PayPal or whatever you call it. You name it. You gotta pay it with no cash. You gotta pay at least like $20, $50 to buy food to join yourself. That's nasty work, man. I'm telling you, man, it's out here as presidents, you know what I mean? They don't want to see nobody happy. They don't want to see nobody prosper. You know, this is put down on black people, man. And I got mad. I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I said, bro, you don't understand, man. Like, damn, bro. Like, man, the stuff ain't right. Stuff ain't not right, bro. You know? And I said I'm going to do videos. I told him, I said, look, we're going to catch the bus. I'm going to go do videos and talk about this issue because it ain't right, man. They're not feed. I thought they feed people some good meal. Goes with anybody, but they don't do that no more. They don't do that. They just start charging people to buy food in Martin Luther King's birthday. That's nasty work, man. I said that's sick, bro. That's sick, man. Like, I don't see nobody complain. I see few people complain, but I don't see a lot of it. None of them want to complain, bro. You know, sad, bro. And tomorrow, when I get paid, why not give me a call? It is what it is. You know, it's kind of a little cool outside. It's been like 40, 50 degrees out here. And I just want to do video, man. Just, that ain't right, bro. That ain't right, man. Charge people to buy food in Martin Luther King. They're supposed to be free for everybody at the park in Martin Luther King Street, man. In New Braunfels area, man. Like, that ain't right, bro. So next time, I ain't going out there no more. And it's crazy, y'all. And that's all I gotta be saying, y'all. I just want to share this message to y'all, man. How you feel, you know what I mean, about this? Just leave a comment, y'all, about